Download detailed ebooks of houses in India with technical plans and fact files. Subscribe to Buildofy.com and download one ebook free.
AD&D was started 18 years back. It's an architectural and interior design studio. Anand Menon is a partner. Myself, Shobhan Kothari, we're two partners here. We're now a strong 30+ designer firm. Our genres that we focus on are residential as well as hospitality. When a client comes to you and says that you want the pool to be the center of the activity and the center of the house, it's going to be the nucleus, we want the whole house to be around that. You keep that at the back of your mind when you're designing, to say that, okay, that becomes the protagonist, that is going to become the hero of the house, and how do we now kind of engage all the functions with it. So the site is located in Alibag. It's an interesting 1.5 acre site, and as an architect, when you kind of visit any site, you're searching for certain sense of clues that the site can give you itself. This site was very interesting in that sense. We had a seasonal lake located along its one edge completely, and interestingly, from the roadside, you were blessed with a clump of trees and vegetation which you had to deal with. Also, in terms of its directions, we're looking at this being the north. So we were dealing with the south being open. We needed to shield the building from the southwest monsoons. We had a nice stretch of land which almost gave us this axis, to work with, to say that, how do you kind of work with this longitudinal axis? And that became the starting point for us to kind of site the building and work with it. So what we started doing was, we first snaked our way past the clump of trees, and we decided that, you must come to a sort of an arrival zone, so like an arrival plaza. And once you've kind of decided that, how do you kind of hold that arrival plaza? So the idea was that, okay, can we come with a curved wall that kind of receives it, and a linear wall? So it's between these two frames that you kind of are received. The curved wall also kind of dips down. It rises from a big height of about 5 meters and comes down to about a 3 meter high, where you have the entrance canopy. This is where you kind of enter into the house. Now, most of the house has been designed like a pavilion. When we say it's a pavilion, it's groups of functions which have been clustered together. So you had the guest room facility at one end, and along opposite the guest room facility, we had the formal living and the dining facility. What we did strategically, as the client had always envisaged the pool as the main activity of the house, we ensured that the pool was kind of located right in the middle of these two activities, because we wanted the guests to get up in the morning and feel that they're right next to the water's edge. We wanted the living dining to have a deck which would then become an extension of the pool activities. But what we also did is, to reinforce, as I said, the axis of the pool, is we lifted the master bedroom block onto a stilt, and the kids' bedroom is taken at a mid landing. So the staircase block kind of happens right there, and you access through the staircase, you come to a mid landing where you had the children's block, which is now on a cantilever. It's strategically located, and it has the beautiful vantage of the looking into this seasonal lake. And likewise, even the master bedroom, it kind of looked into the seasonal lake, which because of its height and its location that it was. One important other function we had was the games room that we had out here, which was aligned again with the living block. The minute we started placing this, we kind of realized that these individual pavilions that were there needed to be strategically connected. And that began the exercise of connecting it with a strong spine. So you had the circulation spine that got defined, and through that circulation spine, everything was kind of accessed. What was then nice is the curved wall had formed an intimate courtyard, which was then in direct sight of the glass pavilion, which was the living pavilion. And finally, what we landed up doing is on the axis of the pool, we had an outdoor jacuzzi and a sunken seating. All again, as I mentioned, on the same axis to further reinforce it. The client, through the project, was talking about the fact that how they love playing badminton and they love playing tennis. So we kind of debated about both these facilities being incorporated into the project. And finally, what got accommodated was the fact that we had a tennis court. And this was by sheer luck in its length, in its orientation, everything, that we were able to kind of put it right at the end of it. But what again worked to our advantages, it was on the axis of the pool. So we created a sense of walkway and a pavilion, a gazebo, through which you enter into it. So the spine and this axis got further well defined for us. The structure currently, the way it is placed, you had the guest block facility with its lean-to roof and its flat corridor. But you have the water facility, that is the pool, engaging with the deck of the glass pavilion of the formal living room. And then you have the curved wall. So the idea was that if we treated the living pavilion as a glass block, we were sure that, the weather is unforgiving in Alibag, and you have extreme climatic conditions like the rain as well as the heat. So what we landed up doing is we created a brise soleil on the south facade, which is a screen-like element which gives us the right amount of shading right across the pavilion. But at the same time, being a glass box, it engaged with the courtyard, which was held together by the curved wall that we had gone around creating. At the same time, the pool had a pool bar strategically located, and the fact that the master bedroom was then taken onto a stilled format allowed the openness and the transparencies to happen. The pool bar also, the adjacency of the pool bar is with the outdoor dining facility. So, the whole activity kind of shifts from a morning breakfast, which happens underneath the stilt, to an afternoon session, which probably, because of the heat and everything, moves into this glass pavilion box. And then it moves towards the evening into what we had created was a sunken seating, where it's with a tensile roof that happens. So the idea is that, you create episodes and memories for your inhabitants, where they can kind of engage in different time spans differently.